Sorry, I pressed the record button on accident. Holding this camera is hard when you're doing it with one hand, trying to open stuff. So, I don't know what this is yet. Oh, this is my my rain poncho. But it's not just a rain poncho, it's used as like a tarp or a tarp or like a, what do they call that? The thing that you put on top of your tent to keep rain from coming in. Whatever that's called. So like you put it on top of your shelter to keep rain from coming in. But it's mainly just as a rain poncho. I got two different ones, but I haven't bought the second one yet. It'll just be a different color. I like this color, but I'm not really into this color. It's just, it was the best that they had. So yeah, and then I'll put this back in the bag in a second. But anyways, it's just a rain poncho. I'm not gonna do it. And it has the O-rings, steel O-rings in it so that you can tie it down. It's just not a regular rain poncho. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this box and keep the other box. But what I'm going to do is probably... Yeah, this one's too big. I should be able to fit this. Nah, that's too small. Yeah, I'm going to keep this because I'm going to cut pieces off of my anvil and throw that other piece of iron away, and I'll give it to a scrapper and they can take it and turn it in. I turned in all the other scrap metal already that I got from magnet fishing. It was like 200 pounds, and they gave me like $12 for it or something. Yeah, but whatever. It was still worth it because I got it all magnet fishing. So I guess if you're magnet fishing and you get like 500 pounds, you get you like a good payday of like $30 or whatever. And most of the time when we're magnet fishing, we pull out really big pieces of steel and stuff. Well, big, heavy, you know, like rebar and bike frames and shopping carts if you want to take the wheels off of them and the plastic off of the handle. Then they'll take those and, you know, stuff like that. Alright, so you'll be back for another video when I pack my bags. And it won't be a final backpack packing because I gotta make sure that my weight's right. For my train, I can only have 4 bags, pay an extra $100 to carry 4 instead of 2, but they had to be 50 pounds. That's why I decided I was gonna cut all that extra off my anvil that I didn't need and use anyways. I was just leaving it on there because I wasn't gonna do all that extra work unless I absolutely needed to, but now I need to, so I'm going to do that. So, anyways, I'm going to talk about my knife real quick. This is the Green Zombie Remington fixed blade hunting knife. That's what I used to unbox. And then here it has a pointer finger and a thumb, so that way you can get leverage to cut downwards more. Or if you have it like this, then leverage the stab, and leverage the stab if you turn it upside down and hold it like that. But yeah, it's like for hunting, so like defense. If an animal's coming after you, you just hold it like this. You wait until they come closer and stab them and like that. But having a knife like this is really great with the guard and that on there. So that, like, if somebody takes your knife from you, which even the most experienced knife fighter can sometimes have their knife taken from them. So you got all this stuff to grab onto if you gotta take the knife from the person. from their hand. But if you're ever going to take a knife from somebody, grab the wrist first. Control the wrist, step into the guard, step inside of their guard, put your foot, your leg inside of their legs, inside of their stance, and then go ahead and use the wrist that you have hold of to pull them forward towards you, closer towards you, and you can put your leg pushing one of their legs back away from their center of gravity, and it'll take them off balance, and then you can just reach in and grab the knife from them. But having something like this will mean that when you go to grab the knife from them, you don't get cut. You can grab up near the blade and still not get cut. They don't have it for that reason. They have it so that when you stab something, you don't get slide up onto the knife. But who's really stabbing and stuff? So, I mean, I guess if you're like gutting a fish, you would want a little purchase so that you're not sliding onto the knife. But that's the only thing I can think of if you're like gutting a fish or an animal. Why you would need to have that guard on there like that. So like when I make my knives, my guards that I'm gonna use will be just paracord. You just knot the paracord in so that the knot's big enough that your fingers won't slide up past the knot, and then you just put a circular groove into it and tie the rope down into it, tie it together, and you want knots all the way around the knife. Depending on the circumference of your handle, you at least 3. Even if it's like small, you want at least 3 knots. But anywhere 3 to 5 knots would be perfect. And then the knot that you use, the one additional knot that you tie into it, so that the paracord's not coming off the knife. And then you're gonna want 5 things. So you'll want where this would be like a reference, the point where the blade meets the knife. They call it the hilt or whatever, or the hilt's down here, but the front guard. I think they call it the front guard, but whatever. Anyways, so you would have one rope here to keep you from sliding up onto the knife, and then you want one about here, so that when you grab onto it, it would be in between your pointer and your middle finger. Then you want a second one, which will be in between your middle finger and your index finger, and then one in between your index finger and your pinky finger, so that's 4, and then one in between your pinky finger and the pommel. But this knife doesn't have that. You're going to want 5 to 3 so that you can grab and it'll be in between. But you gotta make sure that your knots aren't too big, because you don't want to force the person's hand apart too far. And using your hand is a good reference. I mean, unless you're a guy and you're unless you're a guy and you're selling a knife to a girl, then you'll just compensate and put the knots a little bit closer together. Well, the knots a little bit closer together. The paracord knotted up a little bit closer together. They last longer. They're not getting casted off as you're casting them. Like a circular bread ball will actually cast off when you cat out there or whatever. But like if you're throwing your cast out there as hard as you can, that's too hard. But like even like a medium power cast of your like strongest, which is like the most that you should do, most I do, you'll cast your bread ball off unless you use my style of ball, which I'll show you. And then the water breaks down the bread ball halfway out in the pond, because it's just a pond, but halfway across the pond, just over and letting it sink and fishing it over and over and over again. Never came off. But like a bread ball, you gotta replace it every like 5 to 10 minutes because the water soaks into it and spreads it apart. Well, anyways, I might keep this too, because I gotta worry about not breaking my fishing poles against that. steel rebar, the really thick long piece that I got magnet fishing and pulled out, that I'm going to turn into a sword eventually, hopefully, if I can take it with me to Indiana. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye.